Greetings, I'm Demonac, and it's arena time. Alright, I'm coming off a fairly successful arena run, but there's still one peak left to climb, and I'm going to keep trying, although I have to start from the bottom all over again. So, I'm very torn between all two of the choices that have been presented to me here. Can't even remember which one I've done more recently. I'm going to try Shaman, though. Shamans are very interesting. They can do pretty good things. I like the Abomination a lot, but I have to take the Lightning Storm because it is a Lightning Storm. An Ironbeak Owl, which I do like a lot. Some people don't like them. I mean, it's very fragile, but it's still... It's a 2-attack creature for 2, and the silence when it comes into play is very valuable. But I think we're early on here. I'd rather get the Forked Lightning for more killing power. Oh, Flame Tongue Totem or the Stormforged Axe. These are both fantastic cards. This is very good for finishing your opponent, but it's also just good for like fighting it out and establishing board control. And this is very good for establishing board control, and it's pretty darn good at killing your opponent. It does 6 damage for 3 mana, and the 3 mana is spread over 2 turns. Oh, that is tough. I think my plan is to take the Flame Tongue Totem and then regret it later. But you can't go wrong with the Flame Tongue Totem. If it keeps giving me all like Shaman cards the whole way through, I'll be quite happy, because there's always good choices. Hex will obviously take care of anything, although you still have to waste an attack or something to kill the frog because it has taunt. Then there's also Earthshock, which, I mean, you can finish something off with the 1 damage, and it's got the silence, and it's also very funny because it one-shots Twilight Drakes. Right? The card's designed, the silence goes off first, and then it does 1 damage. So Twilight Drake is a 4/1, and it gets all of its hit points from the number of cards in your hand, and it dispels all its hit points, so it's 4/1, and then you kill it. All for 1 mana. But I think I gotta take the Hex. It's more broadly useful. Got a bonus rare already. One is a Murloc, the other is a Murloc, and the other is a Sunwalker who is pretty awesome. It's a big fat taunt with a bubble. It can take a lot of punishment. I'm already on my way to having a decent number of Overload cards. I think I'm going to take the Unbound Elemental. I am going to want some fat stuff later, but I'm hoping slightly more interesting ones come up than just War Golems. Fact is, though, the Unbound Elemental, it's a 2/4 for 3. That is perfectly good. Even if you never cast an Overload spell, it's still pretty decent. And they can get crazy very fast. Although more in Constructed, not as much in here. This is tough. Worgen Infiltrator is a very strong first turn play, but the Amani Berserker is just like a very all-around very good 2 toughness creature. Now, weird stuff can go on with like a Healing Totem, healing it back up so it loses its enrage and all things like that, but it's not the end of the world. Oh, I don't know. I think I'm going to take the Worgen Infiltrator this time. Just, it's different. Not a big fan of Totemic Might. Just, yeah, it costs nothing, but it just gives 2 hit points to a bunch of things. I'm going to take the Healing Yeti. 1 more mana than a Yeti, and it heals 2 to everything. Could be handy. It is not that bad, a medium-sized creature. You are super, super powerful, but I don't know. Still gotta trigger you off somehow, but you're super powerful. Dark Iron Dwarf, on the other hand, can give +2 attack to... I can have a 0/2 totem that is able to attack for that turn. I can give that totem +2 attack and use it to trade with something. That's pretty strong. And he's a 4/4 for 4. I think I'm gonna go with him. Okay, it's my standard rare for this slot. Oh, that is a tough choice, and the Corsair is not part of that choice. The Knife Juggler triggers whenever I make a totem. His lifespan is probably short, although if I get a Taunt Totem, he might live longer and just keep doing 1 random damage every turn, in addition to getting the totem for that 2 mana. But the Argent Commander is amazing. I think I have to take the Argent Commander. So So my choices are a 2-part Yeti. It's like you get 4 or 5 worth of stats, but it's split into 2 creatures, which is good for some things and bad for others. Although the way the stats are split is really damn good, because the 2/4 is still fairly hard to kill, and then the 2/1, you still have like another source of damage there. So that's pretty good. Stormwind Champion would be a pretty darn good fatty for here, though, because, again, you're a Shaman, you probably have some totems alive. If you keep making totems, you force the opponent to... I always say I'm going to try and depend more on the totems, and I never do, because I'm always looking at the great cards in my hand, but if I can just make more totems and save my cards, your opponent has to deal with them. If they don't kill your totems, then you can Flame Tongue totem and like kick their ass. If they do kill your totems, then they're spending a lot of effort on your totems. I'm gonna take it. Bloodsail Raider, I don't have any weapons yet, and I probably won't. On the other hand, my choices are a Murloc Raider, who I like much less. I'd rather have a 2/3 for 2 than a 2/1 for 1, basically. Most of the time. Or I can get a 2/7, which I don't have any way to give it taunt. I might get one later, but whatever. I'm just going to take the Crocodile. If I happen to get weapons, then, and I ever happen to have the weapon when I play this, then so much the better. Footman, a Raptor, and a Frost Elemental. Frost Elemental isn't all that efficient, but it's still... I mean, it could be more efficient, but it's still pretty strong. Quill's had some major luck there. Anyhow, I think I don't have a lot of 2-cost creatures, but I'm gonna make totems, right? So I don't need the second turn play. It's just you can still play them in addition to other things. But I'm gonna go with the Frost Elemental instead. I think if I have my totems and a bunch of cards that kill things to fill in the space, then I can maybe make do with more large, expensive, good cards. So I'm going to take the Fork Lightning over the Silver Handlight. I'm not going to take any more Fork Lightnings, because there do have to be 2 or more minions, and that makes it kind of hard. Plus, the Overload is expensive. It's not a super cheap card, but it's still pretty good killing. Silver Hand Knight's tempting, he's very strong, but I want to have enough killing power. So you get another one of him. Get an Acolyte of Pain to maybe draw some cards. But Wind Fury, I don't like Wind Fury just as a spell. I mean, it's strong. I should probably take it, especially since this is an arena deck. You just save this in your hand. Yeah, you know what? I'm actually gonna take the Wind Fury. I talked myself into it. This is like later in the game. If say my Frost Elemental lives long enough to attack, Wind Fury, you can hit your opponent for 10. This can do a lot of damage. If the creature survives long enough to do it more than once, they can be a lot of damage. Okay, now here we have another Fork Lightning. As I don't want any more. It's expensive overload, and there have to be a minimum of 2 enemy creatures. And it's only 2 damage, so it's not like it obliterates them all. The Dust Devil I don't like. Unless you had some way to give him charge, and I don't know what that would be in a Shaman deck. Because that stuff's all warrior, pretty much. So, no, it's no good. Harvest Golem is amazingly efficient, so we're going to stick with that. Fen Creeper, he's okay. He's so much worse than the Senjin Shieldmaster, who cost 1 less and is a 3/5. That I just don't like him. I'm going to take the Jungle Panther because it's pretty efficient. It tends to survive long enough to attack. Fire Elemental, that's what we want. More Fire Elementals. I do get a Stormforce Axe. I don't like Rockbiter Weapon. It does combo well with the epic weapon, Doomhammer. Because that gives you Wind Fury, and if you Rockbiter something with Wind Fury, it does 1,000,000 damage. But no, Stormforce Axe, very efficient. I'm glad I had that. Okay, so my standard rare slot here got replaced with a legendary. And boy, do we have a choice. King Mukla is very rushy. You have to have a lot of faith in your killing stuff, pretty much. Like, you have to be playing a super aggressive deck, which I am not. I don't like the giving your opponent bananas. He's not even the worst drawback, but I don't like that. It can go all kinds of wrong. So, I don't think this is a deck that is tuned for it. I could see playing him in a constructed deck that has a ton of removal, a ton of stuff for killing minions, but no. Baron Geddon really tempting, okay? He's not very tough. You pay 7, get a guy who only has 5 hit points. And he does hurt you. He hits you for 2 every turn. But he also hits everything else for 2 every turn, including your opponent, including all minions. And if he does get to attack, he does 7 damage, so that's a lot. Or do I take Deathwing, who's the ultimate sort of finisher card, but it's also, you're all in at that point. It took all your mana for the turn, and you had to discard your entire hand, and it blows up all minions in play, yours and your opponent's. It's got 12 hit points. Like, your opponent usually has 1 turn to kill it somehow, and if they don't have an instant kill for it, you're probably just going to come across and beat their face in. But, I mean, it's useless for a lot of the game, and it's not even necessarily the kind of thing that you just automatically want to play when you get to 10. You only want to play this if you're more behind, like if you're in terms of battlefield control. That or Baron Geddon. Baron Geddon would blow up all my totems. He's so cool. I think Deathwing is better, but I've played with Deathwing before. And Baron Geddon, I honestly want to just see how he works out, even though it's just going to be anecdotal evidence, like I always complain about. But I want to play with Baron Geddon. He's fun. He seems fun. So we'll do that. Probably regret it. Holy crap. I must take the Hungry Crab. No, I am totally lying. Doomhammer is amazing. You pay 5 mana. If your opponent doesn't have taunt stuff, if you just use this for hitting your opponent, this will do 16 damage for 5 mana. Now that's over 4 turns, but holy crap! Plus, you can use it because I mean, it's Wind Fury. You can attack with it twice a turn. It's 5 mana and then it's 2 mana the next turn, so it's 7 mana. But holy crap! On the other hand, Faceless Manipulator, who I've started to get more and more respect for, these are sick. Like, your opponent plays a Ragnaros and hits something for 8. You Faceless Manipulator, copy his, and this only costs 5 mana, so you might have enough mana left to kill his. This is a really tough choice. Sorry. I just have like a genetically inherited runny nose. All the time. When I'm sick, it's even worse. Man. I mean, I'm taking a lot of damage if I use Doomhammer to wipe out creatures, but it can kill so many creatures. It just established battlefield control. I think I'm going to take the Doomhammer. It's pretty sick. Ventrico Mercenary, who we know I do kind of like, but he's not the ultimate. Another Jungle Panther would be good in 3 or 4 cost. I don't have as many 3 and 4 cost things as I like, because a lot of games are 1 in that area. But the Flame Tongue Totem, I think I have to use this because it's actually just amazing. Lightning Bolt. Lord of the Arena would be kind of nice, but Lightning Bolt I need. It's much easier to use than Forked Lightning, and it's cheaper too. It's only got an overload of 1. It doesn't like cripple your next turn the same way. Keeps wanting to give me Dust Devils, which keep giving me Shaman cards, but not the Dust Devil. I don't need the friggin' Dust Devil who just usually dies right away. I mean, if he lives long enough to attack, he does a lot of damage. He does 6 damage a turn for something that costs 1 up front and then 2 the next turn. But no. Murlocs, I could have had some pretty sick Murlocs, but not enough to make it worthwhile, that's for sure. Spellbreaker is. He's decent sized meat, and he kills things. You know what? I don't have a lot of reliable taunt. You can get taunt from the totems. This guy is very good. It gives you 6/6 worth of stats for 5, but I think the Shield Master is going to come in handy. And I want more of that, like, 4 cost stuff. 3 and 4 cost. That's a lot of where the games are won. Because remember, like, it's your 4th turn play, then it could also be your 5th turn play, and 6th turn you can play a 4-cost thing and use your hero's ability. Frost Shock is okay. I think I like Earth Shock better, but like stopping something from attacking for 1 turn is actually a big deal. But the Wind Speaker is he's a kill card. He's a decent sized creature, and he can turn something else into a death machine, for like a charging death machine, right? Because you Wind Fury something that can already attack this turn, and you're just getting another whole attack. And same logic applies. I don't like Frostwolf Grunt, and the Beast is just too fragile for its cost. Even though it's the same as Baron Geddon. But Baron Geddon's he's doing crazy stuff. He's getting rid of all the weenies that would come after him, so he's a little bit more survivable. I just don't like Wind Fury Harpy. We were expensive, and you can't really kill 2 creatures. I mean, it does do 8 damage a turn to your opponent if it's unchecked, but I just don't like it that much. Acolyte of Pain, I don't know. I'm thinking maybe the Leperno is kind of silly, aggressive. I don't normally like it so much. The Acolyte of Pain could draw me more cards. I don't feel like I have a lot of things that interact with him in this deck, though. I mean, I guess I could have a healing totem. I'm going to take this and have another 1st turn play, even though they'll probably never come up 1st turn. Okay, here's a tough one. He's amazing. He's very good, even if he's not that exciting. And this would be pretty useful in situations. And it's still efficient enough. 3-2 for 2 is fine. Man. This guy takes more of a trick to get off. He's amazing if you do, but I think I'm going to go with the Yeti. It's hard to go wrong with the Yeti. It gives me more of that just winning power in the mid-game. This is my last card already. I could have had 3 of these guys, and they'd all not really do enough for themselves. Questing Adventurer, I've actually seen some constructed decks, and it seems kind of scary when you have a lot of the right cards, but no. Argent Commander. I have 2 Argent Commanders again. That makes me happy. Not as happy as having 4 Fire Elementals or whatever I had that one time, but this is feeling pretty solid. It doesn't have as much killing stuff as I would like, but it does have at least 1 Lightning Storm and 2 Forked Lightnings, so it can blow stuff up. It's got a lot of Wind Fury going on, and not like the creatures that inherently have Wind Fury who pay for it by having bad stats. No, it's got a lot of the Wind Fury stuff where you give Wind Fury to the creature that does have good stats and is able to attack right away, which is so much better than the old Thrallmar Farseer. What does the fox say? So let's see who I get for my first game and how fail I am. It's a worthy opponent. I almost got a Mage. Oh, I'm going to start mumbling and you won't be able to tell what I'm saying. I don't know why. Okay, so we've got good 1st turn play, good early removal. You're awesome. You're more late gamey. I mean, he goes fine in my casting cost curve, but I want him to come out later when I have a Fire Elemental in play or something. This will work out fine. This looks like a very good hand. Let's see how I screw it up. I gotta remember, make lots of totems. But 1st turn, obviously, we play this. So what's it going to be? Blessing of Might? Blessing of Might would have made me sad. Now, I could coin him out, but I'm supposed to be making lots of totems, and a taunt totem would slow things down for my opponent. That's not a taunt totem. It can trade and kill something later, but yeah. I think I'm going to be... He's going to be on offense this game, obviously, based on how it started, so I'm going to take out the 2-1. Still like the Worgen, though, just because he does give you control over what you do with him. Establishing board control, probably smart. That's a little annoying. You can't lightning bolt it. Wind Speaker. Okay, I could make a totem. If this was some other 3-2, if this was like a Knife Juggler, then I would probably make a totem and lightning bolt it. But it's not really worthwhile, so I'm going to get myself a Harvest Golem, who should be able to kill something and live. At least that's the plan. And who knows? If my opponent tries to ignore him, I might Windspeaker him. Oh. You know what I should have done? I should have coined out my Shield Massa. That would have been cool. But it also would have got Hammer of Wrath, so I wouldn't be that far ahead. What do we got? I was just thinking, you know, Lightning Storm would be interesting. I don't know if that's actually what I want to do. I should probably save it, but it was the card I was thinking of, which, again, makes it kind of creepy with the top decking. I've had some comments about how I call the card I want and then get it. This is later in the game. The later you are in the game, the less impressive that is, because the odds improve. But yeah. There's only one Lightning Storm in here, and I got it when I was thinking of it. I think I'm going to play the Sen'jin Shieldmaster, and then if he somehow survives, I could potentially heal him with the Darkscale Healer next turn. He seems like a pretty decent play, though. And it's possible that my opponent will build up more forces for me to Lightning Storm. It's also possible that by not Lightning Storming, he can Blessing of Kings something and kick my butt, so who knows. Okay. It's going to rebubble her. Not even going to play her right away. Interesting. Okay, so here's a question. I could kill this with my Shieldmaster, then play the Windspeaker, which would heal him up to a 3/4, which still wouldn't survive that or kill that, but it would be, you know, decent, and I would gain 2 health and have like the Darksail Healer. Or I could Totemic Call, and if I got the +1 spell damage totem, which is only a 1 in 4 chance, I could kind of go nuts with that.
I wonder.
But then I'd only have 3 mana left, and I could either play an Unbound Elemental, or Lightning Storm, or coin out the Spellbreaker, or I guess I could coin out the Windspeaker. Coin out the Windspeaker, I could hit that, and then hit him, and then I could Lightning Bolt him. But no, then I wouldn't. If I totem first, then I wouldn't be able to do all of that and still stuff. I can play the Unbound Elemental and buff him up by doing things. Man, I wish I had more time. Oh, I'm going to screw up. I had to target the attack before it was over. I'm sure I could have done better with more time, but I mean, I wasted a million years thinking, and not all of that was because I was talking. A lot of it was because I wasted a billion years thinking, so... Oh well. Would have been nice to have the Unbound Elemental out before doing that.
Ready, sir.
But this does 4 damage now. If he doesn't kill this somehow, I can blow him up and boost my Elemental. So that's not bad. Let's do that. Boom. So, not too bad. I'm sure I could have done better if I thought faster, because I had so many options that turn before. So many options. You'd probably kill that, hit it for 1, and then sword it. That would be the smart thing to do, I think. It would basically clear the board. He'd have like not much out there, but... Oh, okay, he wants to use the bubble. Still pretty worthwhile doing what he's doing. That guy's gonna have to get Spellbreakered. Some hot Blood Elf on Blood Elf action. I've got 6 mana, so yeah, I can do this. And I can't really do anything else with the coin, particularly. So this seems like the most sensible thing. Oh, that's not a taunt totem. But I can't complain, I got the one I wanted last time. Not making any progress so far, but we'll see. I'm saving up some stuff, just a question of what stuff he's saving up. He got so much value out of this stupid True Silver Champion. Those are why it's good to be a paladin in the arena. That and Consecrate. Yes, I believe you want to deliver some beatings to me. This is not unforeseen. Oh, Blessing of Kings. And I just used my silence. Lame. This is going to have a negative impact on me. badness. Oh, can I do anything with that? I so can't quite do anything with that. I definitely don't have the mana to play him and then Windspeaker him. And I can play him and Flame Tongue, and it's not big enough to kill this guy. Which is really, really unfortunate.
I wonder.
I'm not going to be able to keep out any totems because this guy's going to kill the totem every turn until he can get a finishing blow. Man. I am in an awkward position. If I don't use my coin, next turn I would have enough mana to play him and Windspeaker him. Does this do me enough good, though? I'm going to take a horrendous beating if I just play Darkscale and a totem or something. Man. See what totem I get. It's very consistent, this game. It's not really helping enough. I don't even know what to do. I'm actually going to kill the 2/2. Probably stupid, because it gives him a lot of opportunity to kill this, but my brain's not working right. It means he can't kill a totem, so I can maybe get more use out of the Flame Tongue next turn, but he could just Consecrate and then win the game. That'll also do, pretty much. I need to draw my Hex, and even then it's probably too late. That's not helping.
Reporting for duty.
That would have been amazing earlier. Now it's just kind of sad. So I can hit something for 2 with this, if I play the Flame Tongue Totem. I can hit my opponent for 4, but I mean, can't use it to hit other things because it'll just die. I don't see any practical way to make this work where I don't die. 5, 2... The Doomhammer is not even helping.
What to do?
For not a time.
Taunt Totem would have been nice. That's not it, though. Yeah, last turn, instead of trying to get a random totem, I definitely should have used the Flame Tongue and hit him for 6 with my Ardent Commander. Really? You steal my only good thing when it doesn't even matter, and you could have pretty much just beat me anyway? That's kind of obnoxious. Had all those junky things he could steal. Well, no. Half of the things he could steal would have been junky. It doesn't really matter, because I don't think there's any way I could have come back even before that particular coup. Wow, you also would have helped at certain points, and not so much now.
Truth is my shield.
Really? You're fucking around? I have to bleep myself now. That's so stupid.
Feel the power of will.
It doesn't matter. It's not even close. Just go 1/1, and then kill with the snake. Look at that. Oh, I didn't even squelch him. Oh, no wonder I lost. Making all these amateur mistakes. Still, like, that was not an easy match. The way my cards came out, I'm not sure what I could have done about that. But I'm going to have to do better next time. Please click the like button before it clicks you.